Well, good morning. I think I finally got the lighting right in here. With all the lights in this coach, you would think that I'd have the perfect lighting, but that right there is not lighting up for me, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, I bought a motorhome with a lot of issues, and I don't know much about these systems that are in this rig. I've done my research, 8 years of research, and this should be pretty energy and pretty fuel efficient, but with the cost of everything, who knows what's going to be fuel efficient. And of course, here I am running a big generator to power off a space heater because I don't understand the controls, and I'm afraid that I might need some serious repairs on this rig. I'm fortunate in that I've been blessed with enough greenbacks to pull it off at this time and point in history, I think. I gotta sell my other rig so I can raise more money to put it into this pig. But they don't make them like this anymore. And if they could make a rig like this, it would cost so stupid much money, it'd make your head spin. So this is the most money I want to put on the road. It's actually a little bit more than I want to put on the road, but let's face it, the money is worthless. It's not gonna go up in value anytime soon because we're a bunch of liars, thieves, and murderers. That's what we've all become in America. We are the beast system, the epitome of the beast system. You want to know what the beast system is? Then please buy one of my Bibles. Sit down and read it. And I know you're going to say, well, there's no time for that anymore, Dr. Kemp. We got to scramble to make money to feed ourselves every day and to pay these outrageous energy bills. No, I'm going to tell you right now that an American empire needs to come right down. This American empire is not our country. It's not the country I was reared in. So I know you're worried and you want to keep up American hegemony. I'm going to tell you that it's going to be one of the best things that ever happened. But between here and there, it's fraught with danger. That's why I'm running to be your benevolent dictator, president. And when I seize power, we don't take oaths of office. And why should we take an oath to a sheet of paper, a rag that you folks don't respect one bit at all? So you want me to take an oath to your Constitution, but you're not going to abide by it? Well, I've been a hypocrite quite a bit in my life. I guess I could rise to that level of hypocrisy now. Yeah, I could fill those shoes real good. Like I complained about the buying experience on the coach, and it is kind of a nightmare, and it's going to take 2 months before she's really ready for me to move into her full time, which I don't really want to wait. But I have to, and I have to be patient. A sense of delayed gratification. I showed up in therapy a long time ago, and my new mentor didn't know he was going to be a mentor. Had a good idea he probably would be. Told me I needed to develop my sense of a delayed sense of gratification. Man, did he have that right. And that was, of course, how many years ago? More than half my life, just over half my lifetime ago. So I guess I have had a sense of delayed gratification, and I set many things aside that a lot of people went after when we were younger. And I have regrets. Oh yeah, you bet I do. The biggest regret I have was failing to marry the woman I loved in college. That was the biggest regret of my life. I'd love to be able to say it was the stupidest thing I ever did, but unfortunately I did a few more stupid things. So I got myself into this position late in life. Well, there are worse things, I guess. A lot of the people, my contemporaries back then, got married a couple more times. Matter of fact, that woman even got married two times after that. We didn't get married, but I wish we had in many ways. And I realize now that, that life is about over. And I checked on her, and last time I checked on her, I didn't like what I heard. But I like the fact that she had a pretty fulfilling life and had a couple of nice children. And I heard good things about them. So I just hope that, hope she's okay. I have no idea. I think she blocked the number, which I couldn't blame her on at all. I mean, I just wanted to let her know that I thought about her and I cared for her more than what either one of us realized. This rig, buying it might be one of the stupidest things I've done. I don't know yet. Time will tell. But I want to tell you about the decline of America. What you call America, that's not America. That's not the country I grew up in, that's for sure. So do I mind if she's destroyed? Well, I do. But I want to take her apart myself. That's why I want to run and become your benevolent dictator. Now, I got another name for it, and I don't dare say it because they would have a cow. They would have a fit if I mentioned that stuff here. But you would probably explode with a guffaw and laughter, and if you were swallowing coffee or trying to chew, eat, or drink anything right now, you'd be spitting it out across the room or wearing it all over the place. But anyway, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's the point I want to give you right now. You need to understand that the most marvelous documents in the world are at our fingertips, but they've been screwed up on us. I mean, we've been screwed from left to right. We got a bunch of predators here living in America right now. We have a predatory class that won't quit. You call them politicians. I call them liars, thieves, and murderers. I call them traitors. They take an oath to what? My God, how far do they have to cross their fingers or knock on wood or hold their hand on the enemy's Bible to be able to pull off this crap they're pulling off? Look, folks, I told you, and I've joked about it many times. It's not a funny matter. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, though. And you will find that as we go through these changes and argue about different forms of government, that we don't get along, then it gets worse. Yeah, but you see, we got a few things going for us. Well, for one, you got my copy of the Bible, my version, my Bible. You want to buy that version of the Bible. It lends itself to less religiosity than the previous Bible, which my family member brought to you as well. I know it's kind of a weird thing, only that fellow had some wherewithal. He had a house. He had a library. He bragged that he had every book in his personal library. And he had a vocabulary that was massive. Now, unfortunately, my vocabulary is deteriorating as I get older, and it's just getting monosyllabic, four-letter type vocabulary. So I'm deteriorating as I get older, and I understand that. But America's deteriorating too, so I feel right at home. This shit that you chase after and worry about, called money, it doesn't exist. There is no money. They stole it all. In 1913, on Christmas Eve, they stole all the money, and they sealed our fate. And they used our wealth, our power, our military, all of our hard earnings. They took it all. I know I've had 2 inheritances recently stolen from me. As I was driving down the road in this rig, I said, this is what Mom and Dad should have been driving. This is the rig. Instead of getting chiseled by those coin dealers, yeah, the money changers, he should have just bought, the 2 of them, a rig like this. Heck, I could have inherited this rig, and they could have enjoyed it. Oh, Lord, they could have enjoyed it. Now, I know they had a lot of fun in their other rig, and I've got it, I mean, for a gas rig, it's wonderful. So somebody out there is going to get a really nice motorhome. Oh, yeah, she needs some work. And I'm going to tell you exactly what's wrong with it because I'm an odd bird. I'm different. See, I don't give a shit at this point. I mean, you people out there think, I got to pull it over on the other son of a bitch. I mean, to get ahead, I got to put the screws to the guy. That's the American tradition today. No, man, you need to tell the truth. You need to just fess up and say, hey, man, my pig's got some warts on her. And I put this little bit of lipstick on her for, you like that color on her? Well, you want a different color pig? Oh, you like spotted pigs, do you? You know how rare those are. We can't cut down those forests because of those doggone spotted pigs living up in the trees. I really want you to vote for me. I want you to write my name in this next ballot. I know, it's throwing away the vote, but what other choices do you have? I mean, seriously, I mean, you're going to go to Biden? You're going to go to Trump? I'm sorry, I don't like either one. They're both, in my book, cryptos, and they're both liars, thieves, and murderers. And it's like, which flavor do you want? Do you want the left wing or the right wing? Which part of this dirty bird do you want to participate in? Because those are your choices. This bird's got 3 heads, by the way. Doesn't have 1. Doesn't have 2. It's got 3 heads. We Protestants so fit that we took that out of your Bibles. Yeah, for some reason, yeah, we had to take that out because we knew better. We thought we knew better. We didn't know better. The chapter you want is chapter 11. The book you want is 2 Esdras. Esdras is the Latinized name for Ezra. You know, the book of Ezra is in the Old Testament. It's right next to Nehemiah, at least in most of the copies I have. I like my version today much better. It's much more accurate. There's still problems with it, and I admit that right now. We're missing a few books that we should have in there. And it's arguable. But the problem is, somebody thinks they know better. Me? I know better. That's why I'm going to tell you. We've got some other documents out there. We have one called the Declaration of Independence. You might want to read it. I mean, it's kind of important. One of my ancestors signed that one too. Yeah. I got a buddy. His ancestors signed it. I don't think he's doing too good, though. He borrowed some money from me and never intended to pay it back. Like a good friend, Dr. Kent was there, only too eager to help, and he wanted more. I give him more, and I realize, and my heart sunk realizing, the son of a bitch is not going to give me back my money. And he kept promising me a 7-fold return. And I looked at that son of a bitch. I told him, I don't want any return on this. I just want my money back. He said, you give it back to me at the end of the day. Yeah, right. Then it was my problem because I gave it to him too late that day. So it was my mistake. Okay, whatever. It was not a cheap lesson. Destroyed some of my spending money for the summer, actually. Hell of a way to end a friendship, but that's what he chose. So be it. What about you? What are you going to choose? You're going to choose the party of the left wing or the party of the right wing? The Bible says don't turn left or right. Go straight ahead. Yeah, it says that in there. It also says in one of those books that Yahweh had, was it 100,000 or 400,000 people in Nineveh that didn't know their left hand from their right hand. In other words, they were innocent. They were so naive, so dumb, so stupid that Yahweh sent Jonah there. Jonah didn't want to help those people. He didn't like those people. He didn't think they were worth saving. And he ran away from Yahweh, and he got on the ship. Anyway, it's in the Bible. It's one of the shorter books. You might want to read it. It doesn't take long. It's kind of entertaining, I think. So you might want to read about it. Nineveh was spared. Now, I'm pointing you to that particular book in the Bible as an example of how Yahweh changes his mind. I'm going to point you to another chapter in the Bible. I'm going to point you to Zechariah chapter 5, and it's short, and you're going to read right through it thinking, what's the big deal? The guy's talking about flying scrolls. The guy's talking about, you know, the old books. No, it's not about that. It talks about a couple of women in the basket. Oh, no. We didn't do a good job of interpreting that. I turned into my big brother Rex. I think I look better than he does. So when you tune into him, you let me know who's better looking, okay? Rex and I got a little contest going. He doesn't know it yet, but when it comes to Zechariah chapter 5, Rex got it hands down. You need to read that chapter. It is very short. You need to read that chapter and get on YouTube and go to Rex's videos. More than a decade ago, he got a little wrong. He said, was it written in the Bible 2,500 years ago? Nuclear war, was that written in the Bible? Spoken of 2,500 years ago? And I had to tease him, and I put my comment down. No, Rex, you're wrong. It was 3,000 years ago. You got everything else right. So in case you're wondering, that nuclear war that's waiting for us, it's right there spelled out in the Bible. And it's not just the Northern Hemisphere this time. It's the whole doggone place. At least that's the way I read it. So you go read it and you tell me what you think. And the comments are wide open. I don't edit my videos. This is all raw. I don't plan them. I do this from the seat of my pants. Hell, I could never prepare for this stuff. I get sidetracked too easily. Man, I'll put together a show for you and I'll wrestle the papers like Rush Limbaugh would wrestle his papers, you know. And my God, worst shows I ever did was when I prepared for them. Hell, one day I was late. I was busy doing laundry. I was having a good time doing laundry. I like doing laundry. I love the clean clothes you get at the end of it. And it's mindless. It's like a meditation for me. It's a break from crap in my craw, you know. It's a break from what's going on up here that bothers me so much. So I do my laundry in a methodical, particular way, and got trained up by several fine women in how to fold clothing properly and how to do the laundry right. So I like the downtime. I like to hang them in the sunshine. I like the fresh, clean air. I like the disinfectant of bringing it out into the daylight. You got to repent, America. I know, it's an old word, right? Who the hell wants to repent? That's crazy talk, Dr. Ken. Nobody wants to air their dirty laundry. Nobody wants to tell anybody the truth. I'm going to tell you something right now. One of the lessons I learned is by being truthful and candid, I got to learn much more. There was always something waiting for me there to learn. Something waiting for me to discover. Don't you want to make some discoveries? Don't you want to find out what's really waiting for you when you live a proper life? Don't you want to know what the real reward is? Don't you want to know what real wealth is? Don't you want to know what's valuable? What's important? Because I'm looking around this country and all I see is insanity. Now, I partook in another religion years ago. It was a balancing act. I had done some stupid shit. And so I did some other stupid shit to correct myself. I did some stuff to balance out and clean out. So I did that stuff. So for me, life has always been about a balancing act. Could you imagine a hippopotamus in a tutu doing the ballet up on his tippy toes? Sounds like a cartoon, doesn't it? What the hell's in your cartoons anyway? What did that son of a bitch do to your mind and my mind? What did he and his family, which goes back a lot further than what you realize, What did they do to us? What did they set us up for? And that son of a bitch in that place, both places on the East Coast and the West Coast still exist today. I'm sorry, folks. Those should be taken and made into amusement parks. I know that's what they're supposed to be, right? No, I think we need to make them into exposement parks. So instead of exposing the children to these subtle clues and hints and the sexual innuendos and the magic, we need to reveal what the hell they did. Yeah. Same with Washington, D.C. It's so frickin' evil down there that we need to wall that son of a bitch in. Maybe we should let the parasites eat each other, let nothing in or out. See how they do. Oh, I bet there's a bunch of... We could put cameras in there. Oh, that's right. There's got to be cameras there already. So we could activate the cameras and do pay-per-view. Bet we could balance the budget watching those son of a bitches eat each other. Oh, there goes Nancy Pelosi. Here comes whatever her name, or Chucky Schumer. All right, Chucky. My God, what a macabre character. They're all characters, folks. They're all actors and actresses on a stage, playing their frickin' roles as dictated to. They all got handlers. There's all kinds of scripts written for those sons of a bitches. All the world is a stage. Or is it? You need to understand their magic. Their spells go really frickin' deep. I can't watch the news anymore. I don't listen to even conservative talk radio because I can hear all their bullshit. I hear the lies. I hear it in their voices. And it bothers me because I try to tell you about it. And you don't want to listen to me. You don't want to hear me. And I keep thinking, God, give them ears. Let them hear what I hear. My hearing may be impaired. You know, gravely impaired. But I'll be doggone truthful about it. I mean, I listen to these guys and I used to think, my God, they're professional. Listen to how objectively they give that report. Now I realize they've been acting the whole time. They've been lying the whole time, and they knew they were lying. And you give them a license, permission slip, to broadcast. Not only that, nobody else can broadcast and get through the mess and tell you the truth. Get through and tell you what's really going on. Tell you right from wrong. Tell you up from down. You don't have that going for yourself. Get your Bible out. Sit on your own butt. Read it with your own eyes. Spend your time and enjoy it and pray. Pray to Creator, Father, God, Yahweh. Plenty other names in there if you don't like what I'm calling them, okay? But mine's right. I'm pretty sure. 95% sure. Yahweh is another possibility for it. Yeah, we're going to go to the mat over that one, right? Look, folks, when you're doing it the right way, the Spirit's going to let you know. You don't need me telling you right from wrong. You don't need me helping you distinguish your left hand from your right hand. My God, my last dog knew his left from his right. Would walk into a store, and he led the way. I'm sorry, I don't know why. I had to let him lead the way. But the crazy thing is that we're traveling. We're going into different stores, places we'd never been at before. And initially I would just say out loud to myself, let's see, I need, and I'd say what I needed. Immediately the dog pulls me on the leash. Okay, big boy. Where are we going? What? You've never been here in this town before, much less this particular store? And you're taking me to it? All the way across the store, right to the spot? Woo, baby. Okay. I got tired of that. So I decided, the heck with this. I ain't going to say a word. I'm going to think it. There goes the tug on the leash again. And the next thing I know is he's guiding me through that store, taking me right to what I wanted. I miss that dog. Got another dog. She's only 2 years old. Now, my big boy was 7 years old before I took him out in public like that. So he was seasoned, and I had trained him to know his left from his right. It took 6 weeks of constant training, but he knew it. Of course, it was impressive to be in a store and say, Diesel left, Diesel right, and the dog would go that way, you know, and people would be like, what the heck, you know. Well, the dog knew its left from its right, but you don't know your left from your right. Yeah, but there's a quaint thing about that. There is something that's marvelous about that. It was what I observed in the German people when I was a little boy. Yeah, I went over there as a child, and I didn't want to go, man. I watched that madman on television. I watched that raving lunatic out there. I mean, the spit was almost coming through that black and white screen, the old CRT at me. I could damn near feel it on my face, you know. But I didn't realize is that they sped him up. They altered him in his appearance and in his voice to make him look like a rabid madman, a dog. And I don't want to go over there because that's all that is over there. I'm just a little boy. I'm 6, about to turn 7 years of age, and I do not want to go there. Flew over in a prop plane, took forever. Watched the sunset and the sunrise a couple of times. I want you to know something. Those people were better than we were. Yeah. A 7-year-old sees the truth. They were more honest, more rational, and more noble. And from what I could see, they ratted themselves out all the time. Now, was that just the sign of a conquered people? Or was it the sign of a noble people? Was it the sign of a people that were so honest and so rational that they couldn't help but tell you the truth? I wanted to go to their schools. I didn't want to go to schools with the other American brats. They weren't much fun. I wanted to go to the German schools. Mom wouldn't let me do it. Hell, I was the perfect age to become fluent in German. Mom made other mistakes too. But you know, back then they thought, we got to keep you speaking English because we want you to be successful, and we don't want you confused with all these other languages. Oh my God. I had a chance to be fluent in Polish and French and German. Wow. There's some value there when you can speak to other people, folks. Yeah, you need to talk. You need to talk to people. That's the only way out of this mess. And you got to be honest. You don't want to be honest? So you think you've got to pull one over on the other side of a bitch in order to make your ends meet? I'm sorry, that's not working in this next age that's coming, baby. That's not working at all. Either we become the honest people that we pretend we are, either we become the noble people that we claim we are, or we cease to exist from the face of the earth. That's my message to you. So you're going to straighten up? You're going to get shipshape? You're going to live properly and right? Now, don't get me wrong. I still want to take advantage. I still want to win. I still want to come out ahead. But as I told the fellow I was buying this rig from, I didn't want to take advantage of anybody. I wanted a fair thing all the way around. So I don't know if this is fair or not. We're going to find out. And I know doggone well that I've been blessed with just enough greenbacks to take care of this project. Not much more. I got to sell the other rig too. That's okay. I only need one motorhome. This thing is opulent compared to the one that I spent many years in. But still, the little punk has got its advantages. I passed a lot of trucks with that little rig of mine. It's got a powerful engine in it, and it's small. It was the smallest Class A for a long time, and well made. It many ways, but full-time living takes its toll, so it needs the steps repaired. And there's a few other things that are wrong with it. I'll keep that between me and the buyer. Yeah, I know I'm tempted to not tell the full truth on it, but it's like there's enough good things going on with that coach that I think si vende, Italian for it sells itself. Yeah, it has value. It has deficits. And I'm going to tell the new buyer, this is what I do with it. If it was mine, I would, it's got this problem. Here's how I'd take care of it, and I'd make it better. Hopefully they appreciate my insights and my suggestions, because I think they're going to have to follow them. Oh my God, I got no napkins, no Kleenex in here. This is bare bones. It's really beautiful. Wish I could share it with you, but I got to have a little bit of privacy in my life, so I hope you don't mind. You just get to see the chair, the sconce, the blinds behind me, and you can see the walls. I know it's pink, but keep it our secret, okay? I kind of like it. Just don't tell anybody. I mean, I don't want them, you know, thinking I'm whatever. But I got news for you. We are all whatevers. And when you're a child, you don't need the extra pressure of, what am I? You don't need that. You need to grow up in your innocence and be able to explore life on your own. If I had somebody come into my office, I want to go straight. Huh? What? What do you mean? You want to go straight? The straight and narrow path? I mean, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I got to ask questions. I'm not going to make an assumption. It could be, man, I got to give up this life of crime. You know, it could be, I got to, you know, get right with God. I got to get right with my family or with my wife, or, you know, I got to get right with myself. I mean, whatever they come in to order, I want to deliver. That's my job. You see, I'm a member of the servant race. You see this? Okay, this. I mean, I know you want to call me a cracker out there. Okay, fine. You call me what you want. I don't give a damn if you call it to my face either. And if you laugh afterwards, then we'll both be ahead of the game. So, we have to desensitize folks. We have to be willing to desensitize each other. It's called a sense of humor. You know, laughter is the best medicine. One of our famous Jewish actors, not Karl Marx, the other Marx, he was sick. The doctors told him he was going to die. You know what he did? He checked into a hotel room because he could afford it. And he ran old films because he could afford those. And he ran comedies. And he laughed himself back to better health. And to wealth. And fame, fortune. Loved his comedy. Tacky as hell. You know, but I mean, and there was some philosophy behind that. And I know in some ways it was mindless. But it was good medicine, man. The guy laughed at himself. My mother used to tell me as a child, you got to be able to laugh at yourself. If you don't laugh at yourself, you're not going to have much fun. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. Do you understand? It's called for. It's ordered up. It's what the doctor's ordering right now. I know you got secrets. Sometimes I can tell what people's secrets are, but generally I don't want to know, and everybody assumes, oh my God, this guy's a mind reader. He knows. We can't hide anything from him. Let me put it this way. I ain't getting paid. I don't have an open chart. We're not going through the rigmarole. I don't have a license to defend. I don't have to practice a certain way that the board requires me. Because if you walk in and say, my God, I want to go straight. I don't want to be a homosexual anymore. Did you realize that that board would take my license for treating you? Oh, yeah. I can't give you what you want. Who's the client? Who is the client? You're the client. You're walking in, you're buying my time, you're paying me. My God, you're the boss. Order up. Let's do it. Let's do what you want. But instead, the board tells me I have to get you to accept your homosexuality. I'm obligated to do that. And if I don't do that, they're going to take my license away because it's a failure of practice on my part. Now, there might be some truth to that. That might be the way it is. But thank God I had the training I had, because at least I know how to go about it neutrally, and at least I know how to go about it in an exploratory fashion so that I'm not laying it on you. I'm not judging you. I'm not prejudging you. I'm not telling you what you got to be or what you are. I mean, seriously, who am I to tell you what you are? Who am I to judge? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you walk in my office, you're paying me, and I'm going to judge, okay? Are you doing it right for you? We're going to explore that together. So are you doing what's right for you today in the country? I mean, you've got your little sphere. That's all you live in. You got right here and now. You don't have tomorrow. Man, those doggone missiles could go overhead at any time. The whole earth could shake. The lights flashing over the horizon. As you know, the other son of a bitch is getting pounded into the ground. And what can you do about it? It's too late then. You have to demand honesty. Yeah. And you have to put aside the phony money they stuck us with. I've been telling you and telling you, the March of Dimes. That's what they wanted us to do when I was a child. And the dimes were real silver dimes back then. We need to do the March of Silver Dimes today. Go buy yourself a roll of silver dimes. I like the Mercury ones myself because I think she's kind of cute. I don't like Ike too much. I don't like what he did over in the Rhineland Meadows camp. I don't like a lot of things he said and did. I don't like him much at all. I was a patent boy. Give me that quirky dude with that high-pitched voice who was out there ahead of his men in battle all the time, and they were worried they might lose him. They lost him a few times. He was in enemy territory. The guy wasn't going to go. Wasn't going to send his troops where he wasn't willing to go himself. They murdered him. Who's they? Churchill, Stalin, Roosevelt, Colonel Wild Bill Donovan. And there's some people that came forward and told us the truth about their roles in that, and we didn't believe them. They murdered him. Why? Why? Because he knew the truth. He was going to come back and tell you the truth about your president, the truth about your leaders and your generals, and who was running the show. He was going to run for president, and he was going to take out the garbage. He was going to take out the trash. Patton said a lot of other things, which I'm not going to repeat here. That could get me censored. It would be considered hate speech. So when is talking the truth hate? Oh, you'll be the judge of that? You'll decide? Oh, 20 years down the road, you're going to change your mind? And you're going to bring charges against me? For what? Oh, you want that check? Oh, and your attorney wants some of it too. Oh. And of course, you're allowed to lie? Because why are you allowed to lie? Let's see. Because you're a girl? Okay. Because you're a police officer? Okay. Because you're a judge? Whoa. You're allowed to lie. And I have to go with it no matter what. Real fair system you got there. So she says he did this, and we have to believe her? Oh, and we have to give custody to the mother? Why? Because they're attached permanently? Did you realize that fathering is more important than mothering? Yeah, a father can rear his children. 6% criminal justice system lifetime. The child's good. 94% of the children turn out Fine, never have a problem with authority or breaking the law. You let single mom raise that child by herself, you realize it's 70%. No wonder you have all these prisons and penitentiaries. You got mothers raising entitled sons of bitches. My child would never do that. You just don't know him. Sorry, Mom. There's a few things you can't do. You shouldn't have to do them, but you kind of screwed up. Yeah, you went liberal. Decided to get liberated. Decided that you were going to devalue yourself. You did it to yourself. Don't blame anybody else. Yeah, you were lied to. We all were lied to. We were misled. Oh, you want to know who misled you? It's in the Bible. His name was Balaam. B-A-L-A-A-M. He's got a famous talking donkey, by the way. You might want to read about that. It's a great story in the Old Testament. You might want to read about what Balaam was hired to do. And he did his job as best he could, but he couldn't do the full job he was hired to do. Balak hired him to curse Israel. He couldn't do it. You need to read that story. And you need to realize how much that presaged even the coming cross, because they camped in the shape of a cross in a desert. There was a giant crucifix out there. They camped in order, and the families in their tribes with their banners. And how many years before Yahshua, the Messiah, who you like to call Jesus the Christ, how many years was that before that happened? I don't know, folks. Did somebody write this Bible, backdate everything, predate everything? Is there time travel? You know, I mean, I don't know. I'm asking you questions that I can't answer. Okay, fine. We don't have to agree upon the answers to those either, do we? I mean, maybe someday we're going to know the truth about this stuff. Maybe soon, too. It's going to be hard handling all that truth when it comes out. There's going to be so much truth. It's going to be overwhelming. And nobody's going to say, no Yahweh. Because everybody's going to know Yahweh. I know you don't like it because I'm sitting in my easy chair, just having a gab, just telling you, flying by the seat of my pants, doing a stream of consciousness here for you, trying to knit things together and hoping that it comes out in a way that's going to be good for you, that will bless you today. Yeah, I want your vote. I really want you to like my videos. There is a problem. I think the first time I had 200 and they got rid of me, and another time I had 100 they got rid of me, so I'm up to 60, so I got about 40 more to go before they decide to destroy this channel. Of course, if I can get an attorney out there who's willing to sue about my First Amendment free speech rights, I would appreciate that. And if it means taking over the Congress, hey baby, I'm all for it. Man, we got the best Congress money can buy. Just imagine if we could stop those liars, thieves, and murderers there. They know what they're doing. They know how they're putting the screws to the rest of us. They know how your lives are, and my life, they know how our lives are being shortened, how we're being impeded. They know the monopolies they've authorized and what they're doing to us. They just want to pretend that they don't know. Yeah. Your government needs to get locked up once in a while. Locked up in prison. I like that idea. Need to get locked up and not let out of Washington, D.C. to create havoc. Need to be locked up in our borders and not doing our mischief abroad, is what the Bilderbergers said. I say we give it to them. I say we enforce our borders to the hilt. We don't let anybody leave without debriefing them completely and taking biometric data as necessary. I can't do this by myself. I'm not going to do it by myself. I already know that the government's 85% of it's going by the wayside. I already know that. We're going to go back to that small government that our founders gave us. And you and I do not have to agree upon everything, and we're not going to be able to. But the nice thing is our founders gave us the documents. They gave us the proper rule of law for this land. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to come up with new stuff. We have enough resources here. We've got people, we've got talent. Well, yeah, America's got talent, all right. We need to lock that border down and not let anything come into the country without a tariff or a duty on it. And I know you're going to say, well, Dr. Ken, how are we going to get it? You know your neighbor across the way? Oh, you don't know your neighbor across the way? Well, he needs to be able to feed his kids. You know? I mean, he's got the ultimate motivation. Maybe he's got a baby coming. He's got another mouth to feed. Let him earn an honest living. Let him earn the food he's going to give his baby is coming. Let him feed his family. Let him reap the rewards of his own labor. We have endless labor in this country. We monetize the labor. 2 years. Everything's on his feet. That's why I tell you got 2 years with me. I couldn't handle a 4-year term. And besides that, you need a benevolent dictator. You need somebody that's a hatchet man. Now, don't get me wrong. I got other people in mind to do that job for me because they know better than I. They're twice as sharp. They're twice as well-read as I am. I mean, and they got good values. I mean, not that I agree with their religious faith all that much, but the underpinnings are real good, real solid. I can live with that. I can tolerate that. Yeah, we're not going to agree on everything, that's for sure. I mean, my God. But, you know, I mean, I would like to see another WASP on the Supreme Court. I mean, that would be a rare bird, wouldn't it? A white Anglo-Saxon Protestant on the Supreme Court? Yeah. So I am going to be a little racially prejudiced because we founded this country. We conquered this continent. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying, well, you killed a lot of us off, a lot of our kind, a lot of other people. You killed off people and didn't put it in your history books. Well, okay, I'm not going to disagree. But I am going to say, let's at least right this ship. Let's at least save her from going down. Let's not take the rest of the world with us. You know, let's turn upon ourselves. Let's repent. And let's become good again. Now, Alex de Tocqueville wrote a wonderful book. I never did get to read it. I've been hauling a copy around. Now I got these digs. I can't wait to get some books out and read those. But Alex de Tocqueville wrote about a year or two he spent in the United States of America as a sociologist. I made sure to read the conclusions. He said America was great because America was good. And he says, once America stops being good, America will stop being great. So, folks, let's make America good again. And yeah, I like that adage, America first, but really, I mean, do we have to be that egocentric? Have you been to Europe? Have you seen the marvelous, well, of course it's been destroyed since I lived there as a little boy, but I'd love to see that European Union taken apart. My God, those countries were so quaint. I mean, they were each lovely. They were beautiful. There was diversity. I hate that word, but there was diversity, and most of us don't even know our roots. We white people don't have any roots, right? We can't have any roots. I mean, we're just pasty white crackers, right? There's nothing to us. We're colorless people, right? White is colorless? Yeah, right. All a bunch of racists out there. What the heck? We don't even understand race or species and all that stuff. And I don't want to see state institutions anymore for higher education. Nah, man, I want to see it all privatized. I want to see schools done locally. I don't want to see these school boards that run ruthless over the locals. Oh, hell no. That stuff's got to end. And above all, I don't want to pay property tax to educate the other son of a bitch's children when the son of a bitch and little children do not know how to respect me. They don't know how to get out of my way. There is no deference given old people in this country. My God, we can learn a lot from what South America does. Bank lines. You walk in, old person, oh, hell no, you're not going to waste your life in line. We got a line to deal with you. Come right up here. We'll take care of you. Your time is precious, and we know that. And your knowledge is valuable. We want that. Folks, you got to start talking to people, especially because we don't know how to make anything anymore. And the old guys are still around, and they want the company. They want to talk. That's what they want more than anything else. So, I got a guy on my park. He's stroked out pretty badly. I know. He doesn't look like much. But he talks about going next door because there's a big construction project going on over there from one of Biden's cronies in Chicago. And he thought he'd go over there and see if he could help those guys out. And I'm just thinking, I wonder how they'd receive us if I walked my neighbor over there and just talked with them, if it'd be okay to be on site, to let him look around, because he knows what they're doing, probably better than they know what they're doing, and just let him look at it, relive his life a little bit. He might even have a tip or two for them. Let him talk shop again like he used to. I mean, that would give him the greatest joy in the world. Of course, he doesn't talk too quick or too sharp. I mean, he's not steady on his feet. I'm almost afraid to walk him over there. But I know that as he gets out and about, he gets a little bit more recovery. He doesn't have a lot of time left. So why not indulge the old man a little bit? Talk shop with him. Yeah, they got a lot of fence around that block. I think if I get a little time, I think I just might ask the neighbor, let's go for a walk. Hell, I don't know any of that stuff that they're doing in the ground, all that stuff they're laying out, I mean, it's a big block. They're doing the whole doggone thing. And we're taking guesses to what's going in. Anyway. The one thing about old people is they don't get to talk enough. And they know they don't have much time. So that's what they want. So I got a little emotional problems. It's always been this way. Okay. Real men don't cry. Yeah. We don't have emotions either. We just don't let you see them. Why? It ain't good for us, as far as we could tell. This is not the country I grew up in. This isn't America. I don't know what the hell you call it. Oh, I think Trump gave it the right name. We turned it into a shithole, didn't we? Maybe we should just put a turd up on that sign and surrender to the world and say, look, those third world nations are better than we are. In many ways they are. Yeah. It all balances out, folks. We could bring some of them in and maybe get a few pointers from them, fine. But I do want to sort out what we have here completely. And I want to put all of those jackasses in D.C. behind bars. I really do. Mayorkas, what the hell is he doing in office? And those Republicans who voted in the Congress to not impeach him? What are they doing there? Congress is a volunteer position. It's not a professional paid position. We're taking away all pay and benefits to congressmen. I would love to make a requirement for a little while. I'd love to require you be a middle-aged housewife with a couple of kids and a house that you maintain the budget on, and a husband that you have to make sure and he gets out the door okay. I want somebody with common sense. I think that's what Congress should be. And I don't think they would have any wars, because Mama is not going to send her babies off to war. And I think that we need to contain ourselves. I really do. But are we strong enough? Are we good enough? Can we face ourselves? Can we be truthful with each other? Can we not be so sensitive in ways that cut us off from each other, in ways that deprive us from good communications? and what's up? Oh, in case you're wondering, these elections have all been stolen since Woodrow Wilson was president. So don't get too upset about the skullduggery and all that stuff. But we do need to know the truth. And I think some of those old presidents we ought to dig up and put in prison, at least symbolically. Maybe we should have ceremonies like that. Repentance, a little bit's good for the soul. Above all, I don't think we should let Biden leave this country again. I'm not so sure about Donald John Trump, to be honest with you. Oh, that's right. Who's the name? What's the name of that prosecuting attorney in New York that loves Donald? Oh my God. You got any special cells on Rikers? Is that still open? I'd love to put the two of them in prison in the same cell together for a while. See how well they get along. Wonder how long it takes before they're lovey-dovey, before they actually like each other. What kind of justice? I know it's a crazy man's justice, right? It's insane, but there's some wisdom in that. And it is crazy. I don't think either one of them would tolerate each other very much. I'm afraid that there would be a murder or they'd kill each other. Look, folks, I got to call this. We're at a full hour. I don't go over an hour. This is 1:46, and we need to become people of the truth. We need to get real truthful. We need to talk to each other. We need to find out where value is. Congress can't determine the value of anything. We need to change out this whole government. The underwear is dirty on this government. We need to change out those dirty diapers, those politicians. And Congress needs to be a volunteer position. Franking privilege only. I'm not sure, but we can give them a per diem like we did before. But I got a lot of guidelines, and we need to hammer that out. You and I need to hammer that out, because we got to decide how much we're going to give them and how present they have to be to represent their people. And by the way, the South was right. If there's any reparations to be made in this country, it is to the Southerners. And above all, we need to at least pay homage to their ideas and implement those. You don't need a two-term, 4-year presidency. You need a 1-term, 6-year presidency. And you got to do Congress differently than what we have now. We might have to separate a few countries out of this country. I don't mind. I don't mind. I think Alaska needs to be independent. I really do. Maybe Hawaii needs to be independent too. I just don't know. Maybe we need to split up some of these horrible monstrosities of states because they can't be represented properly. But above all, your senators are not elected directly by the people. They have to represent their state governments and be subject to instant firing. Oh, I want to tell you so much. Come back and join me sometime. Yahweh bless. I'm Dr. Kent. I'm ready to be president. There's only one person in my party. Nobody else is good enough. I'll be your benevolent dictator. If you want me for 2 years, you got me, but my wages are going to be kind of high. I want the property back on the Great Bay. Yeah, and I'm going to need a little bit of a stipend because it costs money to keep that stuff up these days, but hope you'll indulge me on that. Yahweh bless. America really is beautiful. You want to look at this country. There's plenty of land here. Don't kid yourselves. And the resources are just incredible. But this central government, it's got to go, man. Central communist government. Yahweh bless.